all the babes, and the PSP in action. But before we head to the Far East, let's take a trip to Middle-earth.
Evil grows strong in the Tower of Orsek.
Rubbish! The main thing threatening the citizens of Middle-earth isn't the restoration of some ancient evil, it's overexposure. In gaming terms, clips from the blockbuster films are turning up more often than the Kennedy assassination footage, and this latest title, The Third Age, is doing nothing to stem the awesome flow of Ian McKellen's repeat fees. It's turn-based combat with all new characters this time, and the game's designers, even though it's an old trick, have done a nice job of running the plot of this game right alongside Tolkien's original. In several cases, the classic action is taking place mere meters away.
What is this? Throw yourself in next time. Rid us of your stupidity.
Our party consists of an elf, a dwarf, a human, and a slightly camp ranger.
Hello, lovelies.
Together, they'll take on a veritable army of evil, all politely waiting their turn. Each character has their own special moves, and even though they're eventually dulled by repetition, using them is gloriously melodramatic. Added to basic combat will be morale-boosting team moves, and also the perfect mode, where devastation can be unleashed with a single button. It's involving, very, very slick, and you really do feel part of an ongoing quest. Oh yeah, and there's no hobbits either.
Well, Ranger, it's about time.
160,000 gamers, over 500 new titles, spread over 4 days of frantic launches, promotion and noise. Welcome to the chaos that is the Tokyo Game Show.
The Tokyo Game Show is the biggest game event in Tokyo, in Japan even, especially this year with the launch.
It comes with a ton of new special moves to master and new, more open environments to explore. Devil May Cry 3 will have fans of death metal and demon slaying getting the fingers and thumbs in the twist when the game's released early in 2005, away from Sony and Nintendo. It may not be enough to persuade hardcore gamers to adopt the Xbox yet, but Microsoft have deep pockets and don't expect them to give up on Japan without a fight. The stealthy, gravel-voiced Special Forces legend Solid Snake dropped into TGS with a little help from Konami's enormous stand. Crowds gathered to watch the hourly screenings of new Metal Gear movies, and patient fans were rewarded with an appearance from the creator of the action series. But fans of the franchise might have to make the most of Snake Eater, as Hideo Kojima made a shock announcement.
It probably will be his last Metal Gear as Hideo Kojima, the director. What he plans to do is have his younger guys take over the project, and he'll be the producer.
So Snake will get to fight another day after all. Delicious. While fight fans amuse themselves with Tekken 5, Namco showed off this spin-off title featuring secret agent and martial artist Nia Williams. Death by Degrees looked at first glance like a straight third-person adventure. Then we saw the critical damage system. Using X-ray vision, you can target an opponent's weak spots, bringing this superior actioner to bone-crunching life. At number 6 in our countdown, Ancient Rome is our setting for Capcom's Sword and Sandals epic, Shadows of Rome.
It's an action and strategy game. If you choose to play it as an action title, you take the role of a Roman warrior. But if you choose the strategy route, the game becomes more of a murder mystery with a stealth element.
Infamy, infamy. They've all got it in for me. Shadow of Rome invades these shores early next year. Join us again for part 2 of our TGS countdown. Carmageddon and a new instalment of the Complex series will also get the Gizmondo treatment soon. Juiced recently became the subject of a bidding war. Take-Two had all but signed a deal to buy acclaimed Street Racer for $10 million, but THQ gazumped them with a last-minute bid of $10.5. Juiced will now be hitting stores in summer 2005. Hooray! The first massive release of the holiday season is nearly upon us. To celebrate Grand Theft Auto San Andreas' imminent release, here's the frankly gorgeous latest trailer. Let's rock!
So you back on the block, huh? Yeah, it is. Good to see you back.
Rafted in scantily clad, permanently smiling stand staff. Konami's girls probably didn't know their Metal Gear from their Silent Hill, but they were more than happy to wait for the camera till their hands were ready to fall off. A variety of girls whose outfits would make Christina Aguilera blush were on hand to promote anything from online role-playing games to Playboy titles. But our tip for the hottest, most professional booth babes at the Tokyo Game Show goes to the girls from Japanese developer Genki. These girls have clearly studied advanced waving at university. Booth babes, we salute you. Still to come on Gamer TV, we're back at the Tokyo Game Show to count down our top 5. And we've got a Resident Evil 4 preview, so stay where you are, zombie hunters. We'll be right back.
Get up to speed and transform your gaming.
Tokyo Game Show by storm, and really shows the cultural divide between East and West. But first, here's the sequel to the biggest selling Australian game of all time. It's already gone gold in the States and is about to hit stores in Europe. It's Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2. The Tasmanian Tiger, more like a dog than its big cat namesake, and now entirely extinct, except for one. Ty's back on our consoles for another round of Down Under platform hopping in Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2, Bush Rescue.
At last, I'm free!
Toodles, Ty.
After being sprung from jail, arch-villain Boss Cass manages to set up his own country so that he can claim diplomatic immunity for his dastardly behaviour.
You mean it's an immunity community?
That stinker!
Ty and his mates set out to make the outback a safer place by setting up an organisation called Burramudgee Bush Rescue. Not only good for helping those in need, but also ideal cover for keeping track of Cass's sinister activities. Dual-wielded boomerangs are still Ty's weapon of choice. Enemies that fall to their blades will release red spheres. Collecting these will give you upgrades like the ghost spotting infrarang. Specific rang abilities are crucial to certain tasks, so you need to grab that red stuff at every opportunity. Ty will even take to the track for Mario Kart-inspired racing to win more. This adventure is traditional third-person platforming all the way. Overly sophisticated elements have been held back to appeal to the younger gamer, but some hugely tricky jumping puzzles are bound to cause frustration. Luckily, gameplay is varied. If you get stuck, you can hit the road, and before long you'll be faced with a different challenge. Jack and Ratchet may be returning soon to continue their platform rucks with the enemy. Once located, war is waged inside a glowing dome, and individual moves can be chosen from a menu or simply left to the dragon. This would be fine if it happened more often, but this inoffensive title is a little too non-violent. We genuinely spend more time shopping and discussing sleeping arrangements than we did fighting. Put simply, there are three types of people. The first would consider this to be another game made according to a much-loved Japanese template. The second would consider this repetitious, cutesy tat. The third group, and that's us by the way, would say yes, this is light years away from being innovative, but it will have an oriental fan base who adore it, and hey, the world's bad enough as it is. Almost certain to remain Japanese only, Dragon Peace is a cheery and very conservative turn-based RPG. But even if you're a keen importer of Japanese games, we'd still suggest that this is one for true turn-based devotees only. Time now to continue our countdown of the top 10 events and products on show at this year's Tokyo Game Show. Flying into our chart number 5, it's Namco's Ace Combat 5. The ever-popular arcade-style flight sim has been tweaked to near perfection. There's now 50 jets to choose from, and you won't have to fly missions solo. New friendly AI allows you to control and order wingmen to carry out coordinated attacks and to watch your tail. At number 4, cel-shaded superhero Beautiful Joe has bagged his own animated TV show, just in time for the launch of the sequel to the smash hit beat 'em up. And this time around, Joe's girlfriend is on board to help him smack down the bad guys.
You can now switch between Joe and Sylvia while playing the game. They have different skills and abilities. Joe can slow down the action, speed it up and zoom. Sylvia can use slow, zoom and replay new moves during a fight. The styles of fighting are different too. Sylvia can use a gun, Joe fights with his fists. You can decide the fighting style to switch whenever you like.
Surprisingly, the first Joe game was more popular in the West than Japan. Perhaps the upcoming TV show will help more Japanese gamers discover the delights of this cel-shaded cartoon hero. Now, a nasty little survival horror from Capcom. No, it's not another game in the Resident Evil series, but the pant-wettingly weird goings-on in the world of Demento. Capcom have kept this game under wraps, and TGS offered us the chance to catch a first glimpse. You'd think video game heroines would avoid hanging out in scary-looking mansions, but this game's protagonist, Fiona, must have missed that meeting. Her pet dog aids her in her quest. I'd have brought a shotgun along rather than the pooch. Damn sight more help against weirdos like that. Oh, and Demento is the Latin word for insanity or madness, so don't expect this title to be a laugh a minute when it sends a chill through your PS2 next year. The biggest shock of the show was the absence of one of the most anticipated products of the year. Where was Nintendo's DS?
I too was surprised that there's very little mention of DS anywhere in the show.
However, Nintendo's bigwigs ensured the show's attendees' tongues were still wagging about their new handheld by announcing the price of the DS at $150 in the States.
It's cheap, cheaper than I expected. The price made everyone think it will sell well. It's a shame that the DS isn't here, but Nintendo have their own event later in the year, so we'll wait and see what they have in store.
Nintendo's price point spoiler wasn't enough to keep our #1 product from the top spot though. Our #1 slot goes to Sony's PSP, which received a sober and understated launch.
It's very busy in our stand. This is the first place in the world that gamers can touch and play the PSP, and most people seem to be pleasantly surprised by it.
Stand staff had PSPs tethered to them which the public could get their hands on. An impressive list of 22 titles, including Ridge Racer, turn-based stealth action of Metal Gear Acid, and puzzle game Lumines.
The PSP had a lot of titles on show, and it has to be said they are looking good. While many of our readers have said the PSP looks cool, but they were worried about the amount of games that will be available for it. This show should allay some of those fears.
There are clouds on the horizon for the PSP though. Sony refused to comment on it, but rumours are rife that it's been delayed and that it'll be priced outside of the reach of some consumers. These concerns aside, the PSP generated a feverish amount of interest, and its presence helped turn the Tokyo Game Show into one of the top events on the gaming calendar. We've warily emerged from behind. Agent Leon Kennedy finds himself in a remote part of Europe, hot on the trail of the president's kidnapped daughter.
I was wondering if you might recognize the girl in this photograph.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí?
Leon soon notices that something's definitely up with the unwelcoming local villagers.
Who are these people?
The Resident Evil formula was starting to wear a little thin, so a new style's been introduced here. You now view the action from just behind Leon's shotgun.
Sounds like a dirty job.